The times we're living in are certainly interesting, probably more interesting than most of us would like. Welcome to SkyWatch TV. It's Tuesday, January 31st, 2017. I'm Derek Gilbert, a special broadcast today as we're bringing you the organizers of a conference that we've been talking about on SkyWatch TV for some weeks now. The Hear the Watchmen conference, March 31st through April 2nd at the in Dallas, Texas. We'll talk about the venue and what you can expect at the conference soon, but they are traveling through the Ozarks, and so we dragged them into the studio. The organizers of the Hear the Watchmen conference, God's Great Gathering, the G3 Intelligence Briefing, Mike Kerr and Jeannie Moore. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Derek. We're so glad to be here.
Did I get that right, Mike? Is it Kerr or Carr?
Kerr.
Kerr, okay, all right.
Yeah, you're correct.
Well, see, Sharon has studied German and can speak German to a degree, and she said often in German that would be Carr.
It would be Carr, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I thought I'd heard it correctly, but sometimes I assume I know what I'm doing, and that's usually when I make my biggest mistakes. I should have asked before we started the cameras rolling. But anyway, we're honored to be a part of it. Of course, Sharon, myself, Josh Peck, and Jake Rahutsky, who's our behind-the-scenes guy, but is also a really intelligent fellow, are proud to be part of this gathering because the lineup that you've gathered together, L.A. Marzulli, Coach Dave Daubenmeier, Dr. Michael Lake, another friend from the area here that you'll be seeing, Josh Tolley you'll be seeing on this trip through the Ozarks as well, filmmaker Mike Norris, Pastor Paul Begley, Pastor Billy Crone, another dynamic speaker. It is such a gathering here. Tell folks, what do they expect if they've never been to one of the Hear the Watchmen conferences, aside from sitting in the room and listening to speakers give presentations? I mean, you can do that from home watching a DVD. Why travel to Dallas to see this in person?
Well, Derek, it's a life-changing experience. When you come to these conferences and you get to meet people like yourself, people can talk to Jeannie and I, they talk to L.A. Marzulli. It is truly life-changing. Now, you know, when we started this whole Hear the Watchmen program, it really was because we went to a conference in Bozeman, Montana called the Whitestone Remnant. And I had the opportunity to work with Steve Quayle for 3 days purely by accident and listen to what he was saying to people, meet other people, like-minded people, and just the experience of knowing that, well, these guys are for real. You know, these are the real deal.
And the funny thing is, and this was something that I've had the opportunity to do since coming here to SkyWatch TV. You know, Tom Horn has been friends with Steve Quayle for many years.
That's right.
I'd never met Steve in person, but I'd listened to his radio broadcast for years, and when you meet him in person, you find out he's not really crazy.
No,
he's really a nice guy.
He's really a nice guy. He's one of the sweetest men that I've ever met. You know, and he's just, you know, I think that's the beauty of these conferences is when you come to them in person, because, you know, we are used to watching things now, especially in this day and age where we can watch them being live streamed, we can watch them on DVD, whatever. It's not the same. You want to come to this conference because you want your life to be changed. You want your life to be changed. You want to be closer to Jesus. You want to meet people that are going to be there for you as we go through these trying times. You really want to have that experience, the fellowship experience.
Yeah, and when two or more gathered in his name, the power is unprecedented. You get people in a room together, praying, fellowshipping, being educated, interacting. People interact on the breaks. They make new contacts. And I think the power in that room that you feel, if you have a stronghold that's binding you and keeping you from really living your life that you want to live with Jesus Christ, that room generates a certain amount of dunamis power. I can't even describe it. And the support is there so that you can really have an intensive 3-day weekend with no distractions. And the live stream is great, don't get me wrong, but when you have 3 days of no work and nothing but being immersed in the Holy Spirit power and the education that these speakers bring, and then that amazing affirmation that the people that you have been watching on videos and DVD and this show are the real deal, will be life-changing. There's healing that takes place. There's prayer that takes place. There's baptisms that take place. And if you're there experiencing it, it'll be the weekend like no other. You will. We have not had one single person tell us it didn't blow their mind and way exceed their expectations. And I say, if you are committed to a life-changing experience, you've got to be there. You've got to be there.
One of the things that I found in attending conferences now over the last 6 or 7 years is exactly what you've described, this sense of fellowship, that I'm not alone. How big of a problem is that in the church today when people are seeking more than what, say, a pastor is allowed to give by denominational limits? I'm trying to be tactful here, and I'm not trying to cast aspersions on pastors, because I've known some, have been good friends with a couple, and I've seen their jobs, and I don't want it, because it is hard work.
Yes.
They don't have the time to do the kind of study and research into esoterica that some of us others do. But there are people out there who are finding it that doesn't answer all their questions. The people who have had experiences that aren't explained by what they normally get in Sunday school or in a weekly sermon, things that they've seen, experiences that don't have a natural explanation. How important is it for people like that to find a conference like this where these topics are brought out in the open?
It's enormous, Derek. I'll tell you. We have had people from from Europe come. We have people coming to Dallas from Hawaii. We have people coming from up in Canada. The remnant body, the body of Christ, is spread out all across the country. And the problem is that, as you mentioned, there's nothing wrong with these pastors. They're living within the confines of their own denominational doctrines. So they can't say some of the things they'd really like to say. When people come to hear the Watchmen, we're able to say anything that needs to be said. So you're getting the truth, is what you're getting. You're getting the truth from men like yourself who have spent hours researching and poring over books and trying to find that truth. Like you and I were mentioning earlier, L.A. Marzulli, I'd asked him, how did you get into this? And he said, well, brother, ever since I was a little child, I've been asking my elders, what's the truth? So you can benefit from a man like that who has spent his entire lifetime going out, researching, and trying to dig up the truth. And you get him in one room for 3 days. For 3 days, you can spend time there. The way our conference is set up is each speaker has a time that they speak. There's no concurrent session, so you hear everybody that's there. And then there's half-hour breaks between each session, plus there's the lunch and the dinner time. And those give people the opportunity to sit down and talk to you one-on-one. It's a wonderful experience for you, and it's a life-changing experience for the people who attend.
Yeah. In my case, people just get to hear me say, hey, look what I found. Isn't this cool? Which,
You're too humble. You're too humble.
Well, tell me about some of the speakers here that I'm not really familiar with, like Michael Boldea, and I'm sure I'm not pronouncing, is it?
It's Michael Boldea. Michael
Boldea,
Boldea
okay.
is the grandson of Dimitri Duduman.
Oh, okay.
So when Dimitri Duduman came to the United States, Michael Boldea was his interpreter.
Gotcha. Okay.
From a young age. And now he is a minister. Michael is a minister, and he goes back and forth to Romania, where he's from. They have an amazing ministry called Helping Hands. But he learned from his grandfather's dreams and visions and prophecies that are now unfolding as we speak. And he is just an amazing speaker.
Amazing.
Yeah, and incredibly approachable.
Now, how about John Reagan? I'm not familiar with John Reagan.
Well, John has done incredible research. He has an entire field of knowledge as it relates to financial
Okay.
comings and goings in the United States and in the world. And that's kind of where he started, but then that ties into everything else because let's face it, the bankers run the world.
Yeah, that is the case. And the way things are developing financially. In fact, I just talked about this on a daily update last week. The best thing people can do right now is get themselves out of debt.
That's right.
Because that is how they try to keep you basically working. And Josh Tolley talks about this too. His book, Evangelpreneur, is about this whole topic, the need for us to be ready to do anything in order to provide for our families.
Well, and that brings an interesting point here about the conference. The conference is about becoming spiritually prepared. It's a revival, to really learn more about Jesus, but it's also to learn how to live your life as a Christian, as we talked about earlier, how to be as couples, how to live. Coach Dave was the first person that I ever heard speak to me like a man. He spoke to me as a man to a man about what my role is as a man in Christianity and my marriage and my role in serving the Lord, what I need to do. And it was life-changing for me, life-changing. And that's what goes on. That's really, it is all about the Lord. It is a revival, but it's also practical. We have really this year been blessed. We have a company just down the road from you here called My Ozark Homestead, and they are a presenting sponsor this year of the conference. We're so blessed to have them there. They have a plan of action for you. Survival 401k, Ross Powell's company, all about what to do with that 401k that you have, how to survive these times ahead. So you get the entire package when you come to hear the Watchmen. You get to learn, not only as a member of the body of Christ, as somebody that's out there worshiping the Lord and stuff, what do I do in my hometown to survive through these times?
And help people and help others, because it's about being responsible to help others in these tough times, and you have to learn to help yourself. It's like when you're on the airplane, they always say, put the mask on yourself before you help the person next to you. And we have to be prepared in the physical realm and understand the spiritual battle, and then be prepared in the spiritual realm. So it's all encompassing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the things that I wanted to kind of close on, because this is something new at conferences that I've attended, and I'm really excited about this. We talked about this for the podcast earlier. The panel session with husbands and wives. Sharon and I will be honored to be a part of that. Coach Dave and his wife, Pastor Paul Begley and Heidi, and Josh Tolley taking one for the team and getting married just so he can be a part of this.
That's right.
I'm joking, of course. But the roles and responsibilities of husbands and wives, just as Christians living in the world, but also as warriors in this spiritual war. What are our roles and responsibilities? What do you hope people will get out of that?
Well, I think what I hope, Derek, we want to bring the couples closer. We want to get their faith in line so that the two of them can march down the same path. But what we want to do, and Coach Dave's very good at this, Josh is very good at this, is we want to try and help show the men how to be the spiritual leader, how to be, the one that is really out there on the front line. What does that really mean? Now, guys, if you think you're going to come to this conference and you're going to learn like how to be right all the time, that's not going to happen. But what it is, it's the way to pull you together. So as a husband and wife team, you can serve the Lord more effectively, and you can do it in a way that the two of you are just in unison. But the men need to be the men, and the women need to be the women. And we hope to talk about that at the conference as couples as to what that really means.
Right.
Yeah. And that's an important topic, because in the world today, that is, our kids, our grandkids are being told that all of that is open for discussion.
That's right.
You can be either or both, neither. Depending on, and you can change from day to day.
That's right.
And woe unto the university professor who uses the wrong pronoun.
Exactly.
It is insanity.
It is.
HearTheWatchmen.com is the website?
That's correct.
All right. HearTheWatchmen.com, and if you use the promo code SkyWatch, save $20 off the registration. Mike Kerr, Jeannie Moore, thank you very much. Wonderful getting to know you. We look forward to seeing you again in Dallas.
Thank you.
Thank you for
bless.
having us.
And we thank you for watching as we keep watch. I'm Derek Gilbert, and this is SkyWatch TV.
Some of the greatest prophetic mysteries of the Bible that the world has ever pondered have now been carefully explored. And the SkyWatch TV store is bringing the exploration to you in the new Mysteries of the Bible Revealed special offer. In this special offer, you'll receive the new book by New York Times best-selling author Joel Richardson, Mystery Babylon. Richardson works through the history of the Christian interpretation of Mystery Babylon, weighing the strengths and weaknesses of each view, and then making a powerful case for a solution to this prophecy that will rock scholars around the world. You'll also receive The Mystery of the Shemitah from New York Times best-selling author Jonathan Cahn. This is a book you can't afford not to read. Cahn explores a possible 3,000-year-old mystery that may explain the timing of 9/11, the lies behind world wars, the collapse of nations, empires, and may hold the key to what lies ahead for the world and for your life. Plus, we'll also include in this special offer the unexplained mysteries of heaven and earth. Join author Ron Phillips as he combines his trademark theological balance with extensive historical research to travel through time to look at the flood, the Great Pyramid, the rapture, and much more. Altogether, this incredible offer holds an unprecedented retail value of over $50. Yours now for only $19.99 plus shipping and handling. So now you can explore the greatest prophetic mysteries of the Bible. Place your order for the Mysteries of the Bible Revealed special offer at SkyWatchTVstore.com now.